to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
What does Uncle Snoop enjoy for breakfast these days?
Great question to set things off.
Other than the weed, other than a wake and bake.
Farmer John maple syrup bacon with some Jimmy Dean sausage, eggs, smothered potatoes, toast bacon. I mean, toast for either biscuits or waffles. But today we went with the old toast with the grape jelly. Welch is great. You know that shit Biggie was on. That Welch is great.
Now, Snoop, you look like the type of individual who likes to make his own breakfast. Also,
I just made this.
Exactly.
Wait, Snoop, I have a pressing question. This is big.
Come on.
Ready?
Come on.
Did Jake go get you your motherfucking $2 million? Because you asked him for it 13 times in a row.
Let's say my accountant was smiling all the way to the bank.
Yo, Snoop, how much Jake Paul was the favorite. So how much did you put down on Jake Paul?
You know, you got to know the odds. You got to know who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is this, that, you know, a lot of people didn't want him to win. So, you know what I'm saying? It was about, you know, picking the right people to bet, not the system. I didn't go to Vegas and do that type of thing. It was more about certain people I made bets with.
Who you thought were betting with their heart because they just didn't like Jake Paul.
A lot of people don't like him, you know, so especially like a lot of the hip hop community didn't like him when he knocked Nate out. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the YouTubers didn't like him. And you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when you look at what he do in that ring, you got to have a love for what he do. Because
see now, that's the best point. We talking to Uncle Snoop. If you don't know, I see our camera crew like, have we started the interview? Yeah, we started the goddamn interview. Y'all better be recording too. But we was just, you know, I didn't know shit about him when he fought Nate. So my expectation was like, who's this goofball? I didn't know shit about him. Then he knocks Nate out. And so the first thing I asked Rosenberg, because I didn't watch the fight, was how nice is he looking? Because this is his craft now. This is he is no longer the YouTube guy. This guy should be taken seriously.
He's spending time in the gym, people. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, I work out and I've been in the gym, but to say that you do it 7 days a week and you really get good at it, you train and you look good and you sparring and you fighting people, like that ain't no accident what's happening in that ring.
Snoop Dogg has a new album, ladies and gentlemen.
Sounds pretty good too, man.
Some heats on there. I got a few favorites. That Devin the Dude, yo, that classic hip hop video where you took all the classic album covers and put them into a music video. Talk to me about why you made that decision to make that music video look like that.
Shout out to my homeboy Dada Baker. When he heard the song, he came up with the idea, and then we just flushed it out as far as which albums I wanted to use and why I wanted to pay tribute to these artists and how the song made sense to collaborate with their covers, which meant a lot to me, which was inspiration for me, which if they were inspiration or their cover was inspiration, but just giving these MCs their flowers while they here more or less and showing them respect and not looking past the first generation of MCs and always, you know, saying everybody's a GOAT, but really paying tribute to the GOATs by putting out a visual piece to represent it and to let them know it. I sent it to each one of them that was alive that's still here with me on the video to make sure that they had a copy of it, to know that they was getting some love from me, that way they can give me their blessing when they seen the video. And they all loved it, from LL to KRS, Big Daddy, Ice-T, Ice Cube, they all loved it.
Yo, that Ice-T Power album, not only did I used to stare at it too often,
of course,
but just what was happening musically on that album, how much did that influence you as a young MC?
Well, Ice-T was the foundation to this West Coast gangster shit. He was like the first one to show us how to do it. And then when he did it, he showed us how to take it to another level. Then he took it to the big screen. Then that album was so sonically together as far as the songs and the high rollers and the way he talked about the game and the way he illustrated the game. And he gave you understanding to want to be a hustler.
Have you spent time with the show Snowfall at all?
What? You didn't see me on Instagram this morning?
No, I didn't.
Oh, don't say anything. I didn't watch the finale yet.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
I didn't say the finale yet.
How? I mean, you living in Southern California during that era, you came up in that. When you see it, I'm sure you see things that are just all too familiar.
Yeah, does it hit?
I had to call Damson this morning. Damson is the one who plays Franklin. And
Yep.
I told him that he made me laugh, cry, and feel good this whole season. And I've been watching him acting, and he's really becoming that guy that I used to be. And I wasn't as big as a drug dealer as he was, but I'm saying as far as the decision making and the things that he's going through in that era that presented so much of that to us that sold drugs. And it's a beautiful depiction of that era. It's representing John Singleton's legacy to the fullest. And that man is acting his ass off. I say he's Emmy worthy, because to be from London and to be pulling that shit off like that, man,
What?
Man, please.
Yo, that accent, his West Coast, his LA fucking South Central accent, it's so perfect, Snoop. Like, there are times when I can't believe it.
Guess who his acting coach is?
Oh,
The great Dub C.
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's right. He
that.
told us that. That's right.
said
He
that.
said Dub C took him around. You know, shout to Dub C. He did tell us that when he came out of program.
He laced him up with the game, showing him how to walk, talk, and give him that information in that direction. And then once he got it, he knew what to do with it. But you got to have somebody that can feed it to you. You understand? Because when he talks, he talks like this when he's not playing in character. So
I know.
That to that, motherfucker's exceptionally well acted.
Now, how familiar in your life is that Uncle Jerome character too?
Uncle Jerome, man. I have 10 uncles like that.
Come on, man. Don't we all got an uncle like that? That's, he bought that shit, but he will ride against you, but he will ride with you. And he will be there for you, and he'll be the backbone. But I like the relationship, how him and Jerome, like, he listening to the nephew. Like, the nephew got more game than him. You understand what I'm saying? I got uncles like that too that had a little bit, more game than me. Then I had some that I had to give them game. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful relationship watching that shit unfold on screen.
Snoop, talk, when you was 19 and you had an opportunity to become the Snoop Dogg that we know today, but you was coming from the street, but you was talented, man. Like you were an athlete. When you were at that crossroads of like, do I stay with this sports thing? Where do I want to go? Or am I going to do this rap thing? And what was that decision at the time? How tough was that?
I mean, it was 3 decisions I had to make to do sports, to do music, or to sell drugs, because I was doing all 3. And the overwhelming thing was the drugs was the easiest one because it just came and it wasn't like a hard job. Sports was harder because you had a coach, you had to practice, you had to learn plays, you got to learn the scheme, you got to play your position. Being a rapper was solo. It was all about me, but it wasn't no money involved. And it wasn't no believability, so I had to go create that. So when I decided to step away from those 2 things, I had to really just focus on that and that only. And knowing that if I wanted to be great, I had to take all of my time and my efforts to learn what great is, to study the great MCs, to study the rappers that were before me. So when I did get the opportunity, that I would make the most of it.
And you felt, I mean, clearly you made the right decision, but there was still some many treacherous years navigating out of the street to where you are now as an artist, right? Which I'm sure you didn't predict, right? The death row stuff and just things that was happening in the neighborhood, everything you had to navigate in the industry deals, all of those things. Ultimately, it worked out right. But when you look back at making that decision, was music just clear and present that it was the best decision?
No, it wasn't clear and present because wasn't nobody from Long Beach getting on at that time. You was either from Compton, you know what I'm saying, or LA, but Compton was like the dominant. And at that time, Compton and Long Beach didn't see eye to eye. We didn't have no great relationship. So it wasn't like a nigga from Compton would just automatically hook up a Long Beach nigga. That wasn't going to happen. So it was kind of like, how do you get in, without knowing how to get in? And my thing was just get better. Keep making mixtapes, keep doing songs, and hopefully you'll get good enough to where somebody will see you. And then, through the blessings of God, Warren G had my cassette, and he went to that party that night, and he just so happened to slide that shit in, and Dr. Dre was there, and he heard it, and he put 1 + 1 together, like, okay, this motherfucker sound good, but he could sound better if he was with me. Bring him to me.
So it was Dre wanting to not only help the city, but saw, that he could really turn you into a superstar.
That's what Dre does best. He finds a rock, and he makes it a diamond. I was just one of the first rocks that he found after leaving NWA that was like, he was real down when he left, but then at the same time, it's like finding me like brought him up because it was like, okay, I got something that I can, you know, I had the DOC, I had Ice Cube, I had Easy, I had Ren. Now I got this new motherfucker from Long Beach, Snoop Dogg. He different than them. He gangster as fuck. He got his own swag, his own sound. You know what? I could fall in love with this nigga, but let me slide him on my album first to make sure it's official.
Snoop Dogg got a new album. Go ahead, Laura.
Snoop, I wanted to talk to you. You know, we all got to witness a beautiful moment when we watched you and DMX verses. And I wanted to see if you could share some special moments of some of the behind the scenes conversations that you had with DMX during the verses.
I think after the verses was like our most memorable moments because DMX like old school cars and I got like about 20 of them. So one night I'm sitting in the back and Cuz jumped in the passenger seat and we just sitting in there chopping it up, listening to old school music. And if you know anything about DMX, you don't fuck with rap. That nigga don't fuck with no rap. So I'm playing all this old school music. It's turning this nigga on. He's singing all the words and he more into it than me. So it's like we starting to find out that we are the same dogs. You know what I'm saying? We may have been separated from birth, but we the same dogs. We like the same shit, do the same shit. And he actually did his whole album at my studio when he finished verses. He never left. He came, stayed in LA and rented my studio out and did his whole album. I cooked for them. I laid it out for him. I made it feel like, you know, mi casa, su casa. I did the thing. You know what I'm saying? And that was the best moment that he felt comfortable enough to do his album at my spot and didn't leave LA until it was done.
That must be tough, Snoop, because I mean, obviously at this point you've been blessed to be around for so long that unfortunately now you've dealt with a lot of losses. I know the Kobe loss hit you hard a year and a half ago, and now X, with the way y'all just connected, did it feel extra painful because y'all had just kind of had that bond?
You know what I'm starting to look at life as? I'm looking at life as God let us play around in the jungle, and then he takes his angels back home. And when he decides to give you your wings, you can't be mad at it. You got to celebrate the time that you had with them down here, and you appreciate the fact that they went back home. And that's why I'm getting that with it now, because I used to always be so emotional and crying and sad. Then I had to start to realize, what did this person do on this earth while I was here? Did they make me sad or did they make me happy? And then I go with the feeling of what they made me feel. If they made me feel happy, that's the spirit I'm riding with.
That's beautiful.
Snoop, I want to get into the joint off the album with you and Devin the Dude. Shout out to Devin the Dude. I feel like one of the most underrated, but those that know, they super know.
Yeah, they know.
They know. Yeah, this is a feel-good joint about leaving your weed with Uncle Snoop and Devin the Dude. Yo, off that new project, From the Streets to the Suites. We talking to Uncle Snoop right now.
Yes, sir.
Now, Snoop, I got a question, man. All these years, you're Snoop Dogg, the Dog Pound, you know, all of this love for the dogs. I've never actually seen whether or not you own a pet.
Great question. Best question you've ever asked as an interviewer, bro. And it wasn't even a question, but we know what you're saying.
Well, if you follow my career, I've had personal dogs. I have about 13 dogs at my house now, but I've had personal dogs that I like to move around with. I had one named Killer Coleon, which was a red-nosed pit. He passed away. Then I had one named Red, which is a red-nosed pit. And then the one that I've been recently moving around with was given to me by Wiz Khalifa when my Uncle Junebug passed away because I was so down. He brought me Jules, which is a Frenchie. And he brought me back up. So Jules Brothers, he has his own Instagram page. Y'all can go follow him too. JUELZBROADUS. Go follow my dog if you don't think I got a motherfucking pet.
Wait, but hold on, Snoop. So you just said that those are your personal dogs, but then you also said you have 13 dogs. Can you explain the difference here?
Well, my son brought a dog over and just left him. My other son brought another dog over and just left him. My wife got 4 dogs. My daughter We got 2 dogs. My other son dropped the dog off and just left him. So,
Oh my God.
so what the fuck we do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the dog father. You know what I'm saying? They know they come.
Man, yo, I had no idea that was a real living title. I just thought it was a
When
good
y'all come
concept.
over, hey, when y'all come to LA, I'm gonna pull you niggas up in the back and be like, walk around. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about.
The dog fight. Now, did you ever own a Doberman, like in the What's My Name video?
Oh,
I never owned a Doberman because Dobermans ain't to be trusted. Them dogs are shifty, man. Like, you got to really spend time with them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Even the ones I had on my video shoot, them niggas, I didn't really trust them niggas too much. I'm a pit bull, man. You know what I'm saying? Pit bulls are just the lovable. They so lovable. They are what you put into them. And that's what every dog is.
Right,
Whatever
right.
you put into that dog is what you're going to get out of them. But I found that pit bulls are more receptive to love. When you put love in them, they give it right back to you.
That's beautiful. Yeah, pit bulls are one of the most misunderstood animals. It sucks the way they get treated by society because people have abused them and put so much negative energy on them. You know, it's even tough to even have one a lot of places.
well, listen,
right?
dogs are animals. And so they're going to do what they do. If you don't treat them well, they're not going to act right. And the only difference between a pit and a golden retriever is what a pit is capable of if you treat it badly.
No, if you teach him wrong, it's all about
right.
Teach him. It's just like a baby. A newborn baby don't know how to hate. A newborn baby come in this world just loving, reaching, grabbing, wanting to suck on some titties. Just like a brand new dog. A new dog want to come in this world loving, happy, just a little happy little dog until somebody said, bite this rubber over here. Hold this rope. Hold this chain. Walk around with this 40-pound chain on your neck so you can get your neck strong. Nah, fuck that. Dog supposed to be running around, having fun, greeting motherfuckers, being happy. And if somebody do act a fool, then show them things.
Yo, Snoop, I know we've talked about this before, but to think about where you were when you go back to your trial in the 90s and the way white America was scared of Snoop Doggy Dogg, in 2021, man, you are as beloved and popular as you have ever been. I mean, I don't know if I have a commercial break, Snoop. I don't know if there's a sporting event or a wrestling match that I watch where you are not in a commercial. Do you even sometimes go, man, this Snoop Dogg story has been fucking crazy?
It's almost time for the life story, right?
Yeah. Oh, major announcement time?
What?
Wow.
What?
It's almost about that time. But I just think the work that I put in, you know what I'm saying? Like, going from Snoop Doggy Dogg to now, like Snoop Doggy Dogg had a hard road. He was in a different environment where he had to learn how to be a man. He had to grow up fast. And then being able to go to No Limit Records where I was taught business and understanding on how to, you know, monopolize and then how to treat people right and how to franchise and empower people. And then getting with Pharrell, learning how to master my, you know, side of making music that appeals to everybody. And then just taking on my own ventures and doing my own thing and stepping out and proving to people that, you know, I could do me and do me at a high level, you know, whether it was a reincarnated album, whether it was doing some gangster shit, whether it was doing a gospel record, whether it was plugging people up, or even just, you know, being a consultant for different artists and helping, you know, people out by either giving them a conversation or being in their videos or letting them use my studios. That's what I am and that's who I am.
We also get to see you be an ambassador for youth, which is, you know, a whole other level of, you know, stewardship and just love that you've imparted on young athletes in Southern California, but also just, you know, talk about those relationships and the amount of kids that you know, because I think often there's so much going on with Snoop Dogg, we forget that you started a football league that is, you know, honored and respected by, you know, the NFL. I mean, even in that world, you've been able to move around.
Well, the Snoop Youth Football League, we put that together in 2005. And we just wanted to give back to the inner city. And through all of the hard work and the people behind the scenes who created it, the parents, the coaches, the staff, the kids, we created a multitude of kids who graduated from high school. A lot of them went to Division I. We had 12 kids that made it to the NFL. And through that program, we decided to create something 3 years ago called the Snoop Youth Special Stars, where we've been dealing with kids with autism and handicaps, and we've been providing opportunity for them to come out and play. And that's something that we've been doing low key, no cameras, just making sure that those kids and those families can come out and have a great time, because we've noticed that a lot of us deal with, kids with those different handicaps, and we don't know how to deal with it because they don't teach us. They don't give us no counseling. So we just have to either lock them up or be embarrassed or be shy or afraid to bring them out. So what we've done is giving them ways to come out and play flag football, do banquets with them. We do Zoom calls with them. We let them, be artistic as they want to be. And we've allowed them to actually come out of their shell, and they feel like regular kids now. And that's one of the programs I've been working on for the past 3 years. And you probably not heard about it because we don't want no attention on it as far as cameras, because we want them to feel comfortable. And now they feel comfortable. So be on the lookout for a TV show surrounding that, efforts that I'm doing philanthropy-wise.
Do you have a sports broadcaster aspirations? You've hosted, you've had your own shows. Has there been conversation around figuring out a way for, look, I might be watching a sports thing, but I want to hear what Snoop has to say. So maybe I turn away from ESPN and you have a deal with the NBA where you're doing a separate sports broadcast covering what I'm watching on basketball. Have these conversations actually happened?
These conversations have been happening. And once I did the Mike Tyson fight, the conversation started happening more. And then I just did this past fight, and now the conversations are happening even more. It's just a matter of picking and choosing what I want to do and how I want to do it, because I'm real calculated about the moves that I make. By the way, I'm on The Voice as well as the mega mentor this week.
Wow. I told you, it doesn't stop, Ebro.
Yo,
it doesn't stop for
That's
Snoop.
amazing.
Snoop, do us a favor, though. If you're going to do these
You
Triller
want me to
fights,
stop?
please,
You want me to stop? You want me to stop? What you want me to do?
No.
No.
Keep going, man.
I want to make sure, though, that you protect Oscar De La Hoya if he gets on a live mic with beverages around.
Hey, man, you know what the thing about Triller that I love? We can do what the fuck we want to do.
I can tell.
And like Ebro just said, you may want to watch boxing from a different perspective and hear it, differently. Like,
yeah.
you're up there smack on his motherfucking mind talking that shit. That's like having a drunk champion talk shit to you. Like, it's motherfucker. You felt him. I felt him that night. I was egging him on. I said, go back up there.
I knew it.
Yo, man, Uncle Snoop, man, you are like I often tell you, man, you are not only just a hip hop icon and somebody.
Give my phrase.
Yo, he's a national treasure.
He's a national treasure, Snoop. That's what you are.
Thank you, Rose. That's cold-blooded.
Hey, by the way, although I got to tell you, I did feel a little bit of a way. I felt a little bit of a way when I saw you come out on AEW. You know I'm a WWE man.
Oh, stop it. Nah, man.
Hey,
WWE didn't make the phone call,
Well, that's
man.
what I want to find out.
AEW did.
So what happened?
They felt some kind of way, too.
I was
Right, but let me tell you this, though. Snoop Dogg ain't no wrestler. He's bigger than that. And you got to understand that what the plug, this is the dynamics of what happened. I had a show on TBS called the Go Big Show during the COVID, where we put together a show where people could really watch and be entertained on some circus kind of shit, like with a bunch of freak shit that was going on. So Cody Rhodes was one of the judges on the show. He's actually one of the top dogs at the AEW Wrestling Network. So as a promotional vehicle to the show, they had me go on there just so I could, co-promote the show and whatnot. But then I get word from them saying, hey, you fucking with them? We're going to have to push pause on your ass for a minute. So I say, cool. They push pause for about 2 weeks and then say, hey, man, we got this video game and we need your, you know what, since y'all told me to push pause, that'll be double. I need that.
There you go. They got the money.
Oh, they did.
Them up.
They did that. I'll be on the wrestling. I'll be on a new wrestling game. By the way, Rosenberg, I'll be on a new wrestling game.
Word.
You hear me?
Now I know you were dialed in, Snoop, to see Sasha Banks' big match with Bianca Belair. How about that?
That's my blood cousin. And you know what's crazy? So Ric Flair was at the fight, right? The Triller fight. So me and Ric Flair talking. He like, do you remember the first time you met me? I'm like, yeah. He said, Charlotte, WrestleMania 2003. I said, yeah. And my little cousin Sasha, that's her first WrestleMania that she ever went to.
Ooh.
So that was a moment in time where I first met him. That was me taking her to her first WrestleMania, and she did the thing.
But Laura, you have to understand, Snoop, your cousin, Sasha Banks, is one of the greatest to ever do it. Like, how crazy is that?
Is that?
And I just learned recently that was your blood cousin.
I
didn't know that.
Like my blood cousin. I got pictures of her when she was a little bitty girl, like 7, 8 years old, hanging out with me. like loving wrestling. When I took her to WrestleMania, she fucking fell in love with it, and she did everything that you're supposed to do. She took the classes, she studied, she went through the Underground Wrestling Network. She was fighting all kind of no-name people, doing all this, doing that. She had to build her whole everything up, and then when she finally figured that shit out, I was like, oh, that's magic right there, baby.
Shouts to Sasha Banks, man.
So shout to Sasha Banks. So that's one of Snoop's relatives. You guys want to do the Snoop relative game?
Oh, go ahead. What's next?
Is Brandy really your cousin?
Brandy and Ray J are my first cousins. Those are my
First cousins.
No way.
And y'all, all y'all from the same town in Mississippi, right?
You better know it. Same town. My daddy and Ray J, mama, first cousins. They grew up together, same neighborhood, the whole nine. I mean, it is what it is. It's a love thing. And on my grandfather's side, Lorenz Tate and the Tate family is my people.
Wow.
Yo, 6 degrees of Snoop Dogg is real.
Yo, we can keep I've heard. Yo, wait, how many? It's some more in there, Snoop. So that we got Lorenz Tate, we got Brandy, we got Sasha Banks at WWE.
Did y'all
any other relative?
Did y'all watch? And what's my cousin name from Mississippi? She was she played in the Clark Sisters movie. She played the mother.
Oh,
I
didn't see the movie. I heard about it.
Oh, she's very talented. This is my blood cousin. I forgot her first name. She got a crazy ass name. She gonna kill me when she see this, but you know I love you, Kim Paul.
Hey, but that happens with cousins.
It's a lot of cousins out here.
I got so many fake cousins. I be forgetting my real ones.
Yo, from the streets to the suites, the new Snoop Dogg album. Yo, I really love that record.
Ajane. That's my cousin.
There you go. Ajane.
Okay.
I ain't gonna forget you, Kim Folk. I don't want you cussing me the fuck out. Nigga, how you gonna forget my name on TV? Ajane. That's my Kim Folk from Mississippi. You understand me?
That Mozzie Gang Signs. Favorite, that joint right there. Listen. And this is an important record. You know, it's a lot of I love to see the continued collaboration between sets too. I think that's a beautiful thing. And you know, putting street business aside to do some corporate business and make money together is always a beautiful thing, Uncle Snoop. You taught us that from early.
Well, you know what? Me and Mozzie, I like his music, right? I'm a fan of his music. So I went looking for cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to be like, if I like the youngster, I reach out to him, and I reached out to him. I hit him one night. I was at the spot, and I was playing my Music Choice TV channel. One of his songs came on. I just filmed it, and I shot it to him. I'm like, nigga, this motherfucker banging, man. Let's do something. And he pulled up on me. When he pulled up, I had the right record. He did his parts. And then when I said I need the video, he pulled up for the video. He showed up and showed out. You know what I'm saying? That's my young homie. So at the same time, I remember being that too. I remember being that young MC that was hard. You know what I'm saying? And when somebody would call me, I would show up and show out. So it reminded me of me. And it was an honor to get down with it.
Yo, this record's fire. Uncle Snoop, thank you for your time today. He smoked an entire blunt. You know, as the blunt comes to a close, so does the conversation. So Snoop could continue his day. I know he's working on The Voice right now, so we're gonna see him on television. Now, did you burn something while you was backstage at The Voice, or you kept it clean so you didn't smoke them out too bad?
I don't give a fuck about keeping shit clean. I'm Snoop Dogg.
Ow, I need that box. That's hard.
The doggy dog cookies. Yo, that's a hard box to find. That shit sold out quick.
That motherfucker sold out in 17 minutes. You hear me?
Listen,
yo,
I'm hitting burner right now.
I'm the Usain Bolt of this shit, nigga. I sells out fast, nigga. You hear me? Record time, 17 minutes. The record was 27 minutes. I outdid it by 10 minutes.
Yo, the Snoop Dogg cookies is hard to find, bro.
Boy, it's real limited. But guess what? In 6 months, it'll be in every cookie store in America.
Wait, are those actual cookies? Those are weed cookies?
No, those are cookies brand, the weed.
Oh, it's just weed.
Damn, Rosenberg, sit down somewhere.
You don't know about cookies, bro? I thought you was a weed smoker.
Smoke him out. Take him in the back room and lock him up and smoke his ass.
I got some limoncello for him. You know what I'm saying? I got something for him.
Ebro, shoot him something. I'm gonna double up on you, man. Get that nigga out.
Yo, Uncle Snoop, we love you, sir.
I love y'all back, man. Y'all have a beautiful day. It ain't been nothing but love and respect since day one. You know what I'm saying? Keep up.
Always.
Peace.
Appreciate you,
Yes,
Snoop.
sir.
Peace out.
Peace.